So here's another philosophical concept. If you know how gears work on like a bike or a motorbike or a car, and to explain like a basic concept, imagine that you've got sections of speed, right? So you've got like a low speed. You've got, so a start on no speed. Then you've got a low speed. Then you've got kind of like a speed that you could cruise around, maybe a suburban area. Then you've got like a highway speed, it's a bit quicker, and then you've got maybe like a freeway speed. So it's just higher levels of speed you can think of, different gears. Life's a bit like that as well, where I find we're all on different gears, and we all have access to gears, right? Or a gearbox, or these speeds. And you can choose which speed you're on, but only the speeds that you have access to, right? You might not have access to the highest speed. Some people don't have access to the lowest speed, or to the stop, the standstill. If someone's on like too many stimulants or whatever, they can't stop and slow down. Usually, how rich you are is kind of an indication on how quick you're going, right? Like how high gear you are, how wealthy, how powerful you are. And then how poor you are is an indication of you being on like a lower gear, a slower gear. So I noticed, just say if you walk, walking is pretty slow. Running is a little bit quicker. If all you can do is walk and run, you can't really get a lot done. You can't really do a whole lot. The best you can do is if you live maybe in a city or near like a suburban area, you can go and get your groceries maybe. You can go and walk there. Or you take public transport, right? And then if you add a bicycle onto that, that's you have access to more reality. Maybe if you're in a local area, you can, meet people, you can go ride your bicycle and meet people, or you can go to like a town a couple of kilometers or a mile or two away. Still kind of sucks, but it's a little bit quicker. And then above that, if you have like an actual proper vehicle or an electric bike or whatever, or something that's a bit quicker than a bicycle, a bit easier, your scope of reality grows. And your ability to get these vehicles to improve your scope is related to your money. And your ability to make money is usually related to your scope of reality. The distance you can travel. And it could be the distance psychologically you can travel, the experience you've had mentally. It could be on a computer. You travel through, the internet on different websites. You have different skills and you can make money there or do something there. Or it's in your society, you can travel to another town to get work or whatever. Or your experience and your knowledge is, you have all this knowledge about this one subject, or a trade, or whatever it happens to be. So if you're trying to achieve something, the higher your scope of availability, the higher the gear you're on, the quicker it's going to happen. Because you could walk to the next town or next city, and it may take you an hour, it may take you 10 hours, right? You could walk there. You'll still get there eventually. It's just going to be very slow. If you took a bicycle, maybe that 10 hours turns into 5 hours, right? If you took a car, maybe it only turns into an hour or half an hour. And then if we think about imagine you had some kind of flying vehicle, soon you'll be able to commercially buy a flying vehicle, right? Just think a big drone, so propeller blades. You got multiple propeller blades, and it's kind of like an air bike. And there will be air bikes and vehicles, and I imagine there'll be more helicopter and simplified electrical air vehicles integrated more into society. and drones integrated more into society as we progress, especially as electronic batteries become more and more compact and more efficient. Really, air travel is, it's a matter of weight. Of course, the lighter you are, the quicker you can generally go. Heaviness is you're carrying a lot of weight. So if you're carrying a lot of weight, you're going to be slower. You're going to be lower down in a lower gear, so to speak. Or even if you're in a higher gear, you'll still be slower. And weight in your life can be all kinds of things. It could be, responsibilities and restrictions, things that you have to do. It could just be, maybe you're a big person, and that, that weighs you down, of course. We all have differences, like Asian people are generally the smallest people. If you put an Asian person on a very powerful motorbike, they're going to probably be the quickest just on, genetic, just how things work, right? Or if you took like a Dutch or like a northern kind of like a Swedish person, 6 foot tall, and you put them on the same motorbike, they're probably going to be a bit slower because they're a bit bigger and heavier, So it's just we do have naturally these differences which you have to work with. You do have to work with those. So it's an important thing to realise, what gear are you on? What gears do you have access to in life? What speeds do you have access to? And how quickly can you achieve the things that you want to achieve? How slowly do you achieve them? That'll help you plan and navigate life. And what is the scope of your reality? How much can you do? What do you want to do that you can't do? How far out do you need to get that scope? Maybe if you want to meet a certain person or talk to a certain person, what do you need to get there? What kind of like reputation, or is it just you need like a vehicle to get there? Like, do you need maybe it's just something more abstract, like you need a personality change or something. Who knows? Maybe you want to learn how to make something. Do you know the websites to buy the parts? Do you know that you have the money to buy the parts? Do you have the skill? Do you have the software to, if you need to design something or whatever, do you have the software? And then I think it's important to realize, how do you improve your scope? How do you get to the next gear? Especially if you're a man, you spend your whole life trying to get up a gear, That's our thing. That's our, you're just grinding, working, You're trying to get up more and more and more gears so you can provide more and more for the people around you and below you and such. How do you get to that next gear? And you have to look at your life. Is it a vehicle? Is it a tool? Maybe you're a trade worker, you need some new tools to make things a little bit easier on yourself. Because instead of doing something by hand, it takes you 20 minutes, you can use a tool and it takes you 1 minute. If you own a factory, you need maybe a new machine. Maybe you need something more mental, as in you need a new design, a new pattern, a new product or something. Or maybe it's mental, as in maybe you need to fix something that's always coming up in your mind. Maybe you need to fix a part of your body that is not moving correctly, is not moving easily. You've got, maybe you get back pain and it's just causing issues in your life, and that's affecting your mind, and then that's affecting your personality. So it could be all kinds of things. It could be, personality, mind, body, which is very close. It could just be your house. Your house is not cleaned up or fixed up and is stressing you out, or your family's not, functioning properly and that's stressing you out. really, it's all things. As you improve your life and you step up a gear, everything starts to function more optimally, function quicker, right? Everything happens more quickly. And if things happen more quickly, you want them to be good things that happen quickly. Because otherwise, if it's a bad thing, it could, blow up in your face, and you don't want that. So anyway, I'll leave it with that. I'm sure you get the main point. Just some ways to understand your life. Of course, feel free to check the links in the description for social and commercial stuff, and have a nice day.